Hello, hello. Okay, get settled. I'm really unsettled this morning, full disclosure. I had a very weird dream last night. I live in a very small town. It's like 200 people. And, the roads are kind of a bit weird. People who don't know the town are always getting lost because, they loop around, and you can see the look on the driver's face. They're like, because they'll be driving by the dock this way, and then they'll be driving by the dock that way, and they just have this wild-eyed look. And if they're stopped by the side of the road, I usually go over and say something, ask them if they need directions, because it's so easy to get turned around. And but in this dream, I got turned around, and I ended up somehow rather than driving down a road, it was the wrong road, and then it turned into somebody's hall in their house. And I I said, "Am I in your house?" And this lady said, "Yeah." She was at her kitchen table, and with a couple of other women. And I said, "I'm so sorry. I don't know. I don't really know what's happening. I don't know how I got here. I got turned around. Can you get me back to Route 1 or whatever it was?" And she said, "Yeah, but if you go back the way you came, you'll run into the crazy guy who, if he sees you, he's going to want to shoot you." And I said, "Well, how do I avoid? Is there another way to go?" And they started consulting. Anyway, even when I woke up, I was like addled, because I thought, how did I get turned? I was still sort of in the dream. Maybe there's something in that, of just being in, how you have dreams sometime where you end up in a part of your house you didn't know existed? You open a door and there's a whole nother wing. It was sort of like that. Really disorienting. How do I get home? This card fell out, and it is the Page of Wands. Wands are directional. This is the new direction. Taking the new route. So it kind of fits. I'm still like, where am I? Okay. They are popping out. Bottom of the deck, Wheel of Fortune. That's another kind of movement in a new direction. It's a kind of an upgrade where the wheel is turned and things have changed, and you're in a better place or further down the road on your, to your karmic destiny. Strength. This is a card of a Leo, and it's the ability to overcome something. And it takes courage, maybe to go down this new path. It's in the same fire energy, Wands. Strength, a major arcana card of like the psyche being brave and courageous to embark on this new path. Chariot, another card of movement, card of Cancer. So it's in water energy. It's about feelings and connection, and it's fast forward movement. The route toward the mystery. The Sphinx. And I think it's sort of two roads diverge, but they both lead toward the mystery. Not knowing perhaps where this path will take you, but having the courage and the strength to walk it anyway. And then suddenly things accelerate. follow your feelings. Wheel of Fortune. I'm going to put that under Page of Wands. Following the karmic path. Tell us about strength, please. King of Wands. I'm sorry, King of Swords. Up in the head, right? Maybe it's getting to this next phase because there's a new understanding, a new clarity, a new, sorry, Rue's back there, a new ability to see the way forward from a slightly removed perspective, like step back. She's trying to get into the cupboard. She's in. She found her way in. Okay, can you tell us what this King of Swords understands now? Boy, the cards are popping today. Knight of Cups. Again, this is a card of movement. In Cups energy, in feelings, and it's under Chariot. A card of movement in Cups energy, a card of feelings. This would be in the 3D department. This looks really joyful. You know, it's certainly not this posture of being kind of bent over by the effort. This is a new pathway, you know, to do with love, affection, feelings. One flipped, here we go. 10 of Cups. On Wheel of Fortune. I mean, if that's where we're going, if that's where this wheel has landed us, I think we got a similar idea of this yesterday. This is the destination for these two. They can see it from here. See it. I think maybe the change is that you're not, or somebody's not having to do this alone. Knight of Cups, 10 of Cups. Some big love offer, I'd say. Knight of Cups, who's coming in? 7 of Pentacles. Somebody who wants to invest and build something in 3D. We have the building under construction. The building. The building. It's like growing in strength, growing in courage, speeding up. Hang on, I need my hanky. Speed up. Okay, can you tell us about a Page of Wands, please? Don't get in the candle room. I'm shuffling upside down. 5 of Cups. I think it's away from sadness, away from it, of feelings of depletion and loss. You know, there's going to be a change in direction and a change in fortune, off to seek your fortune, a new path. Okay, can you tell us about Chariot, please? The paths that diverge, both of which lead to the mystery. Two of Pentacles. Two paths, there's a choice involved in 3D. And it's interesting because there's this here and almost the identical thing up ahead. And it seems to me it's like, what's in the box? Schroeder's cat, there's a thing about Schroeder's cat. Can't quite remember how it goes. If you open the box, well, or Pandora's box, there's what's in the box? That's the mystery. Which one do you choose? Of these two possible things, it will lead to something real, something in 3D. Can you explain about the two paths and the King of Swords? Because King of Swords would come to this decision, Two of Pentacles, and analyze it. But there's a suggestion here that it's perhaps more about feelings than about analysis. King of Swords, what goes on with you? What are you thinking? What are you analyzing? Spirit. Got a bunch. Okay, Six of Cups. Another card of movement. There's always an implication of a return of somebody from the past who's made a long journey to get here. You know, the journey away and the journey back. Five of Cups, Six of Cups. The journey away and the journey back. Six of Cups is a card of the soulmate, of the old friend, of somebody you've loved a long time, or somebody who loved you, perhaps a long time ago. They may have left, and now they're coming back. King of Swords, his story is, oh wow. I think this King of Swords is your soulmate. Five of Pentacles. In traditional Rider-Waite, a card of lack. In this depiction, this character looks to me like they're moving on. Traditional Rider-Waite, it shows two people outside a church in rough shape, locked out. This is one person, and I don't think they're locked out. I think they're electing not to enter into either a mindset, a lack mentality, or actually a place that had exhausted its ability to provide them with what they need. Five of Swords. Two fives are 10. Ten is Wheel of Fortune. So the fives are challenging here. This can be mind games, some sort of divisive way of thinking, different sides, opposing sides, no way to come to agreement, not seeing your way clear to some kind of compromise. Fives indicate a need for change. Seven of Wands, right? Seven of Wands. This can be a block. It can be somebody standing up for something and blocking something else, or other people's opinions. See all these hands coming out to influence this person? And maybe this individual is no longer trying trying to block. Like maybe they're kind of a bit, because Five of Swords in traditional Rider-Waite shows somebody leaving the field, you know, no longer engaging in the fight, moving on to something more sustaining. There may be something blocking this person's path, or they may be saying, just, I'm not going to go in that direction. Wands are directional. There may be more than one person trying to stake a claim somehow to this person's, where they're going to go and when. And I think they're returning. And there's this sphere up above that's, you know, straight through to the cosmos. And again, the pyramids, that idea of the mystery. Tell us about the mystery, please. You know, what you don't see, what we don't see, the unknown. Two paths diverge. The road less traveled. In that Robert Frost poem, that's what the person picks, the road less traveled. Three of Cups. This is a card of friendship, of the circle of friends. There are flowers all around, but these guys are circling. Maybe it's that, I mean, it all does resonate a bit with that thing of me trying to get somewhere I had in mind, this is where I want to go, and I ended up in somebody's house, and it was like, what's going on here? Circling around, trying to find, this person's trying to find their way back. And maybe having to take some sort of circuitous route. I mean, that's what it looks like to me. These three people circling. You know, it's a card of friendship and connection, but there's something a little disjointed about it. This one? Four of Cups. Three of Cups, Four of Cups. And again, the pyramid shape. I think this person finds themselves really at the center of the mystery. Traditionally, it's a card of waiting, or of expectation, or of, fantasy. It can be. Where is the fourth cup? In traditional Rider-Waite, it shows somebody under a tree waiting for the, looking sort of like, this isn't right. Where's the fourth? And it's being offered by, there's an opportunity anyway for that new connection being offered by that cosmic energy. Which we see again here in this option. Which way do I go? And I think it's sort of like, whichever way you go, you circle back to the mystery of your own position. And something in that circuitous path is reminiscent of wheel. It's the circle. It's the change. It's divine timing. So whatever time, was spent in this circuitous, remember I said the people who got lost see the same landmark, the dock, going by, whether they go this way or that way. And whichever way is chosen ultimately leads back to the self, to the mystery of who we are in this connection. I'm a little lost. So let's go back to strength. What is it, the courageous stance that takes effort? And I think it's like somebody who's, exerting their last bit of strength. Okay, here we have the other five, or another five, Five of Wands. This can be a card of practice. It's often a card of delay, or a lot of possibly interference. But I see it as, trying to maintain a delicate balance. Everybody has to cooperate. Because it's in the same fire energy, Wands energy of strength. Well, I like it because there are a bunch of people in this one, and one person in the Strength card. Justice on King of Swords. Both sword energies. This is a card of Libra. And again of the two. The Two of Chariot. The Two of Pentacles. The leaving and the return. Okay, we got three more. Four more. Okay, Four of Wands. This is a card of reunion, as is Three of Cups. This is like the destination. Something viable, creative, new, like Wheel of Fortune, a new birth, a new destination, And then Page of Pentacles with this partly constructed place. Four of Swords. Two fours are eight. Eight is strength. I mean, we're getting a lot of kind of repeats or parallels between the everyday and the archetypal. This is a fool's journey. You know, that Page of Wands energy. Fool card is a card of Aries, fire energy, a new path, the willingness to take the leap into the unknown. Away from previous connections, Five of Cups. And the last one here, well, we had four of Swords. A card of healing and of respite. You know, this is like the rest area, the pit stop, the place where we take a time out. And Six of Swords? No, Nine of Swords. This is a card of anxiety, of fear. And maybe it's like healing from fear. Something's taken a long time. You know, there's the building of this structure, and, you know, in Four of Wands, we see the structure, the meeting place. It's taken a long time. And maybe the fact that it's taken a long time has put somebody up in their head. King of Swords would be my guess. But part of the time it took was this, it's healing a mental energy. And the results are very good. Some fair and balanced way of thinking about something. I mean, we don't want to dwell in this. You know, all the, I think it's snakes. Yeah, it's kind of like the snake is trying to enter this person's head. Like the bad dream. And I think this is a card of sort of waking up from the bad dream. See how there's a light around this person's head and a light around the destination. Being guided there in one's energy on this new path, you know, and perhaps having some false starts. This is a card of practice. But, you know, like trying it a bunch of different ways, having the courage to persevere, the strength, despite some fear and anxiety. And again, the stars. Like the unknown. What's being birthed? Something pregnant with possibilities. Four of Wands is a good card. 4 and 4 is 8. 8 is strength. And I think this is somebody kind of in a recuperation mode. Healing something to do with the head. Healing the anxiety. 9 of Swords. You know, kind of being reconciled to work on this idea or place or, you know, there's stair steps. There's something under construction. It's going to take a bit more time. But there is divine timing involved. if there was a hold-up, Four of Swords, to heal something, it was absolutely necessary to get to this kind of clarity and balance. On the board, we have Leo in Strength, Cancer in the Chariot. All the fixed signs in Wheel, Libra in Justice. And that's it. The major arcana balance forward movement in the realm of feelings. The strength to persevere. I think past this, it's a lot of directional energy. All those wands could go this way, could go that way. In divine timing, being led along that karmic path to a better place, to a Ten of Cups place. And that's it on the major arcana. Five of Cups, Six of Cups, 3, 4. I think there was a Four of Cups. No, I guess not. 5, 6. There may be like that missing, there may be a period of time where the direction is lost and there's some need to backtrack. This kind of backtracking energy. Circling around. But the circle, the wheel, lands us on the karmic path. On the karmic path. Somebody has the courage to go there. I think you might be dealing with, or you yourself are the air sign. Could be a fire sign, could be the signs are like, all the pentacles are actually minor arcana, everyday energy. And there's definitely a choice involved. And both roads lead to the mystery. I sort of like that. Whatever path we take, kind of inevitably we're going to end up on a karmic path to our destiny in divine timing. So if it took a long, long time, all these pentacles, this idea of sort of switchbacks and circling and leaving and return and all of that was part of the process. No time was really lost. No time was really lost. So don't lose heart. It'll land you both in clarity, justice, a recalibration of this relationship, but also in the mystery of the strength of this relationship. And I think there will be like a burst of fortitude, of strength, when you consider Two of Pentacles, this choice. You'll get the clarity to make the decision. In divine timing. I know that's sort of a frustrating thing to hear sometimes. When is divine timing? Well, that's the mystery. Like, where do we land and when? I think either choice gets us there. Okay, I'm gonna hit the button and say goodbye. Thank you to everybody who's subscribed. I encourage you, if you haven't and you resonate with the channel, to do so. It just gives the channel a boost on YouTube so more people can see it. I would appreciate it. Whether or not you do it, I'll be here next time, and I hope to see you here. See you here. See you later.